Okay, let's imagine you have 1 million customers. They're all high net worth individuals, like that lady with the guest house, and they need help managing their money. So they turn to your group, a wealth management group at a large bank. And that group essentially is basically a sales team. You're a 10,000 person sales team, wealth advisors, private bankers, and you have two important things to do. That's get new customers and serve the customers that you already have. And in order to do that, there are various managers and bosses in your organization who want to make sure you are well informed. So they're going to send you some information. They're going to give you the latest update on some weekly news of financial advisors. There's going to be a tech weekly email coming to you. There's going to be the national sales call email. You're going to get something from the big boss and hi. You're going to get another email about brokerage, and then you're going to get another email and another email. And they're thinking they're informing you, and every person who sends the email is thinking, I've got this great thing that I need to send to the team, and I have access to this list, and I'll send it, and they'll be happy. They'll be well informed, and they'll do their jobs better. And then they think it again the next week, and then the next week. And they send it thinking about their own communication. But it ends up looking more like this, especially in a group of 10,000, any large group. It's easy to have suddenly way too many people sending way too many emails, and it's bogging down the inbox, and it's duplicate content, and it's hard to understand what should be read in one's inbox. So there's important things in there. And we can think about the technology of the email program. We can think about the design, how well written is this email, how well designed is it. But really what we're talking about is how people behave and how they work in a group. So it's a people problem that we have to look at throughout the whole project. And when we start thinking about why we care so much, we started with an ROI calculation for this project that was more around calculating the cost of employing those people and the time that they're wasting. But what really made a difference was a calculation of ROI on what they could be doing if they had a better use of their time. So what could be the upside of creating time for them? And so the first step in the case study was to capture and catalog all of the non-client related emails in the inbox. So we started with an inbox study, what's in the inbox, and start putting in this big table. And then interview the content creators, find out who they're sending it to, how many different emails per month are they sending. But that table was only one thing. We had to tell a visual story. So this, you'll recognize this type of diagram. This is just a piece of it. This was the first time that the client got a chance to say, whoa, this is a big problem. I'd never seen the different relationships. I'd never seen how messy and how big the problem was. So to go through all of the analysis of that many emails, we created a scoring system. How directly related to the individual was this communication? That's the bullseye score. Is this something they can take action on? Is it something, can we measure the click-through, the read-through? And how well designed and how well written is the communication? And then we trained them with these, a dossier like this. For each individual communication, we're training them on how to look at and evaluate the communications that they have that are happening internally. This is all part of the analysis. So we can say who's sending the communication, who's it going to, what's it doing well, what are the opportunities with it? And through this, they're sinking into the data. And as they immerse themselves in the analysis, they start to look for patterns. We might notice that all these emails are hard to measure. And they're through this email program and not this newsletter program. Or this one group, they have really high bullseye scores, but they're failing over here in their measurability. So some of the solutions that we are proposing or coming up with is you might create a centralized communication body within the group, and communications come through that and then go out to the group. Or maybe you create guidelines for the content creators and give them some training. Or you create email templates that are better designed and better written. So this example here is to take the home, to take the communication out of the inbox as its home and give it a home where it's up published, like on the intranet. There are publishing platforms, SharePoint or whatever is hosting the intranet. Publish the communication here instead of in the email. And here you'll see it's kind of boring, so we want to make it an awesome home. And that's not just design to make it look nicer, it's also use the features a publishing tool provides. If we can measure how many are being read, we can also give a stream of most read articles, highest rated articles. They can comment on the articles. They can share them with others. And then they can still receive an email, but instead of an email for every communication, they get a weekly roll-up. And on the left, you look at an abstract, a little teaser, and then if you want to read more, then you can go to that home where it lives. And that home becomes the default homepage for the employees, for the intranet as well. So it's a place where they can get the content they need. And they might decide, I need this type of content. I'm a private banker, but I'm going to get more into brokerage. So they're going to also say, send me brokerage content. Assign it by role. We assign it by role as a default, and then they can choose to receive more or less, depending on what their roles are. So these are a few examples, and there's a lot of different solutions, so much so that we group them into 4 work streams. So there's a communications change work stream. That's changing the individual emails, like we were just looking at. A cultural change work stream. Intranet change work stream, it's design and turning those features on. And then there's a reporting and measurement work stream. We don't want to try to do it all at once either, because especially when there's cultural change in the way people behave, we want to pilot the program with a small number of the communications. We're piloting it right now. And that's, of course, to improve and iterate the solutions. But as importantly, it's to handpick people internally who will be champions and advocates of the solutions to help others say, yeah, we got to change the way we're producing this content. The last idea here is I can't overestimate how valuable it is to tell a visual story of the project, because this is what got the project funded at the beginning. All the rest wouldn't have happened without it. Thanks for your time.